Good?
Yeah, all good.
Hello, everyone, and welcome. To be honest, I don't know if you're ready for the episode today. The episode today is going to be dangerous. We have a good old friend, Nano Varela, here today in the studio in Miami. He's fresh off the plane from Spain, and we have a pretty interesting story today. It's going to be a good podcast. We're going to be talking about playing in the NAIA, transferring to Division 1, playing in USL 2. The podcast so far has been pretty good, like a lot of international experiences, and I think as an international, like, you have a different experience to a lot of domestic players when you're coming to play college soccer, and I think the audience so far is enjoying kind of having different perspectives, listening and understanding like stories really coming from internationals and then coming and playing in the NCAA. So without further ado, I'll let Nano introduce himself. I played with Nano in the USL 2 for what summer was it? 2020?
Maybe 2020.
It was after the first summer
21.
after COVID.
Yeah.
2021.
2021 maybe.
So Nano, who are you? What's your story? Where are you from? Why are you here?
Well, my name is.
You can talk.
My real name is.
Talk into the mic, bro.
Sorry, man. My real name is Alejandro,
Yeah.
but everyone knows me like Nano. I'm from Spain, and yeah, I came to the US with 18 years old. And I think I have like a nice story to tell.
Yeah, bro, talk to us. So you grew up playing in Spain, right? So
Yeah.
what part of Spain are you from? Like, what was your kind of like youth career?
So I'm from La Coruña. It's like a small town in Galicia on top of Portugal. And yeah, I started playing football since I'm 3 years old, since, 3-4 years old. And since that moment, it was like my life, like all the time, training every week, and yeah,
So
till now.
So when you were playing youth football in Spain, what level were you playing? Were you playing at top academy? Were you like playing okay level? Like, how was the level?
Yeah, so I started playing like in my little town team. It's called Sporting Cambre, so it's from like a small town, and I played there for I think 2 or 3 years. After that, I moved to a team in in Mande City, so like a very like good level already. So I never played for like a top academy team like Real Madrid, Barcelona, whatever.
What's the nearest like big team near you?
Deportivo La Coruña.
Deportivo
La Coruña.
So what was the difference in level between that team and your team?
The difference, like Deportivo La Coruña will pick, like the best players around the city from all of the teams. So those guys, they will always win like the league or whatever. So I would say I always played in the second best team, like the teams that used to compete them, like the leagues, the games, and but yeah, I never reached out that level.
I got you. So when you were growing up in Spain and you were playing soccer, was your kind of like childhood, did you want to be a pro soccer player? Did you want to like go to university? Like, what was your kind of like, why were you playing football, for fun, or because you wanted to be a professional?
I mean, of course, I started playing football for fun because I love the sport, but I always have that dream. I think like every kid has the dream. Okay, I wish one day I could play pro. I could make my living out of football, and yeah, so I started growing. I started playing like every time like a good level, like a better level, until I had the opportunity to come to the States.
Yeah.
But I will never have think, everything that happened to me, like coming to the States.
Yeah, so talk to us about that. Like, was there a point where, because I know like your friend was here and he kind of convinced you, but what were you like? How did it come about? Like, your friend messaged you, you messaged your friend to come here?
Yeah, it was a fun story though. It was fun. So I was, I think, 17 to 18. I was in a spot that I didn't know what to do with my life. Okay, I started a degree in Spain. I started working. So, keep playing football. And one night I was talking with this friend, Pablo. He was like, Nano, like he went to Mississippi the year before. He was there for a year. He was like, hey, like, have you ever thought, to come to the US, and why you don't try to play here? You can study as well, so you can do both things. And I was like, I mean, yeah, for sure. I said like, yeah, sure. Next day he was like, hey, Nano, I spoke with the coach and we need a midfielder in the team. So if you are interested, we can figure it out something. From that, I spoke with my parents. I was like, hey, maybe I have opportunity to go to the States because they are looking for a player and I think they are interested in me. So I think I sent a couple videos to the coach. My friend spoke with him as well, talking good things about me. And the coach offered me a scholarship. So we start, working, doing all the paperwork, and I arrived to the US.
That's cool. So because a lot of like internationals, when they're coming to the US, they're like at 16, 17 years old, I want to go to the US, I'm going to hire an agent, and it's kind of like easy for them. But with you, it was just like, my friend is there, send some videos.
Yeah, I was so lucky because I know that this process is tough. Because also, you need to find the right agency. You need to do a lot of paperwork that is tough. And with me, it was like, like a call. Hey, like, you wanna come? Would you be interested? And next day, I was like doing all the process. And my friend helped me through.
So did you explore other options in the US? Like, you had the one school in NAIA Mississippi. Did you think like, oh, I'm gonna do some research, maybe try and go to New York, to California, Florida, or you were just
no, like I didn't know like how everything works here, So I was like, okay, if my friend is there, he's helping me with all the stuff, and I knew other guy as well because there was two guys from my town, Adrian and Pochi, and they are helping me with all the process. They are there, they know the coaches.
Yeah, so you trust them, and
so I trust them. I was like, okay, I will go there with them and see what happens.
Yeah,
A little bit to the adventure also because, like you guys see, my English is not the best one. But my level of English when I first came here was like
so how did you
terrible.
Did you have to take the TOEFL, or how did you?
Yeah. So I I had to take the TOEFL in Spain, but I had a terrible grade. So before to access to the university, I had to do like a course, and once I was done with the course, I did like the SAT, and I had to pass the SAT. So I was like, okay, I'm not gonna pass it. Like,
SAT is tough.
Yeah, it was tough. But at the end, I got a little bit lucky, and I couldn't pass the exam, and I could access to the university.
Got you. So, for you, when you were coming to the US, and it seemed pretty like smooth, and like everything kind of happened, and it was easy. Did you do a lot of research before you came? Were you kind of like researching the university, the school? Like, were you excited? You feel like you knew what you were doing, or?
I did a little research, but not like crazy, like I didn't know what is NIA, what is NCAA, Division 1, Division 2, JUCO, like I didn't have idea about all those kind of things. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna go play for this team that is in Mississippi, and that I have my friends there, and I'm gonna be able to learn a language and playing football.
So what was your goal with coming to the US? Was it to study? Was it because you wanted to continue playing soccer at a high level? Was it just to have an adventure? Was it just to have a new experience? Like, why did you not just stay in Spain?
I think it was a little bit of everything. I wanted new experiences. I wanted to keep playing football at a good level and keep studying, at the same time. And also the opportunity, to learn a new language that, like I said before, my language was a little bit bad. So it was like something excited for me, like I was like, okay, like I don't have a very big things now coming in Spain, like in my future, so I think it was the right choice.
And the first week that you were in the US, was there a big culture shock? Like, going to Mississippi is like, Mississippi, I mean, I'm assuming is, I've I don't even know if I've been to. I think I've been to Mississippi, and it was like there was nothing there.
Yeah.
So the first week coming, were you like, wow, or did you understand what you were going into, or was there anything that you like were a bit overwhelmed, or you were like surprised, or culture shock, or?
Yeah, I was shocked with the I was shocked with the culture. It's totally different, you know. It's like a totally different culture of Spain. Like the people is different, the place, and but it was nice because I there was a group of a lot of Spanish guys as well that helped me through all the process, and between us we had like a nice group. We did a lot of bond together, and it was one of the things that make me easier to stay there.
What was the biggest culture shock? The biggest thing?
The biggest thing I will say, it was that everything was so far away. You know, like here in Spain, I'm used to walk everywhere. You know, if I wanna go grab a coffee, I will walk 3 miles. And there was like, okay, I need the car
to go to Walmart.
I have to drive like 50 minutes to go grab a coffee, or 20 minutes to go to the grocery store. I was like, whoa, wow. Yeah, it was.
I think the biggest culture shock for me when I came was like because I went to like a small town in North Carolina, Catawba, you know, and like it was just a strip of like McDonald's, Burger King, Cookout, Chick-fil-A, like all of these things, and I was like, and then like going into Walmart and seeing like the guns.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, the guns, and I was like, I thought I was in a movie, you know, because you see all the guns in the movie and stuff, but I was like, this is in Walmart, like. I can go and grab like a bag of chips and a coffee and a gun. I was like, what? This is insane. Yeah, so that was the biggest culture shock for me, you know, and I'm sure in Mississippi it was.
Yeah, and I remember I think it was my first week. I arrived there. I went to the gas station to grab a Gatorade, whatever. I was in the line, and then in front of me I see a guy with a gun on the pocket. I was like, oh no way. No, how is this possible?
Well, it's true.
I remember I took a picture like this and it to my parents like.
Bro, that's dangerous. Send it to your parents, bro. My mum would have started crying, bro.
Yeah.
That's funny, bro. But then, so because you were only at the NAIA for 1 year and then you transferred. So why?
Yeah.
How was your first year and why did you transfer?
My first year was very tough. It was very tough because, like we spoke before, it was like a big culture shock. And I also I never had an injury before, and I arrived there a little bit injured. I was in the recovery process, you know. Once I was healed, I started training with the team, and 3 weeks later I got injured on my knee again. So it was a little bit tough. Also, the relationship with the coach wasn't the best one, you know, and I went through very rough moments because I didn't know how to speak. You know, I had to go to the hospital. Didn't know how to speak with the doctors. Didn't know what was exactly the injury that I have because they didn't know. It was a very tough moment for me. I was missing Spain as well. I was alone here first time. And yeah, like I told you, it wasn't easy.
So then you one day were like, I want to transfer, or it was something you were thinking about, or?
Yeah, so basically, like I told you, didn't have very good relationship with the coach, and I think the coach didn't come with me, you know, to make the team or the squad, and maybe he didn't like me, I don't know. He was like, look, I don't come with you, you know. If you want, you can stay. If not, you are free to find other place to go, other school, other team. So whatever you wanna do. Yeah. And also between that and that I didn't like the place as much, I spoke with my family, you know, with a couple of friends, and I decided, you know, to start looking for universities and see what would be the right option for me.
So then, so you did the transfer process yourself, or did you have someone helping you?
I did all myself.
Really? Yeah. So you didn't have agency or nothing?
Not agency, not agent here, nothing. Between talking with friends, talking with people, you know, like a friend of a friend, And
So this is good. I want to talk about this because so many like, because for American players, right? Like Select Generation is an agency, so we're like helping players and mentoring them, and like you need to do this, this, this. But I do also want to stress that if you want to figure it out, you can figure it out yourself.
yeah, it's tough.
You know.
It's not easy,
Yeah.
but you can.
Yeah.
But you need to, like.
So doing the transfer process yourself, what did you learn? Like, how did you make it successful, and what would you have changed? Like,
So you gotta be like non-stop, like talking with everybody, asking, like, don't be embarrassed to ask everyone, like, hey, ask for a chance, ask for an opportunity, for like if you need to do a tryout, if you whatever, like if it's your dream and you wanna keep playing and you wanna keep with experience, do whatever it takes, like. So I got lucky because there was a guy in my school at Mississippi that was the one that told me, like, hey, you know what? I have a friend in West Palm Beach. The school it calls it's Kaiser University. The level right now maybe is not that top, but the school is unbelievable. The place is a dream. The weather, everything. So maybe it could be a good option for you. I was like, yeah, I mean, I will take, anything. And out of all the schools that I had, was like the one that called my attention. I was like, I decided to go there and see what happens.
so when you were thinking about transferring, what was important to you?
One of the most important things, I think, was like to be with the right people, like the feedback that you have talking with the coaches, with the people that is already there, like I spoke with a couple Spanish guys. I checked the roster, there was a couple of Spanish guys, so I texted them saying like, hey, like, can you give me some feedback of the school, of the environment there, the city. And everything was like, nah, if you have the opportunity, you have to come because everything is so nice. And it was what I did.
Yeah. And then why did they recruit you? Because if you weren't playing in Mississippi, if you didn't have that good level, if you were injured and you were a freshman, not doing a good job, why did they send you an offer?
Yeah, I think it was because, I mean, I always play at a good level, and I think like I can. Basically, it was because I gave my word kind of to the coach, like, hey, like if you sign me, like you won't regret, like.
You told him that, and you like, okay.
Yeah, I was like, I know the level that I can give you, and I know that my first year was a disaster, but I think I'm gonna be able, to convert this, in success.
Yeah. So you were like confident. And
yeah, I was confident. I remember that summer I went back home to Spain, got a personal trainer, started working with him, getting fit, getting in shape, because I think also that's a big culture shock when you come to Spain.
That America, you just need to run.
Exactly.
Especially as a midfielder.
Yeah. So in Spain, I'm used to, play all the time with the ball, defend in the kind of more tactical, everything is more waiting for the mistake of the other team. And here I arrive, and the coach was like, yeah, you have to run there, sprint, like non-stop, box to box. And I had to learn that, to learn that phase of the game.
Yeah.
So and it was what I did if I wanted, to keep playing here at a good level.
Got you. Interesting. So I want to talk to you about the NAIA, because a lot of people, like the audience of the podcast pretty much is like American players that are like thinking about going to college or trying to play at the next level, right? So the NAIA typically has a bad rep. Like, I want to play D1, I want to play D2, maybe D3, never NAIA, Like, it's not something that people think about. But you won a national championship at NAIA. You were playing probably in the best team, if not the best conference in the US, NAIA. What would you tell a player who says, Nano, NAIA, I don't even want to talk about it, it's not good, nothing? Like, what do you think when people disrespect the NAIA?
I think that they disrespect the NIA because they don't know what is in it. You know, like they never been in contact with the NIA. They don't know what how it works, the level of the players, the level of the teams, because even you can tell to the people like the top teams. I would say, of course, okay, during the regular season you play some games that they're easier to play, but maybe you have like 4 or 5 teams in conference that is tough. And I remember in preseason playing against D1 teams and beating them, you know, or like being a tough game. So it's not, I would say the level, if you are in a good NIA, doesn't change that much.
So how would you describe the NAIA to someone that doesn't know?
I would say is one of the biggest difference with NCAA, with Division 1 or Division 2 is like I would say the facilities. You know, like the environment is not that professional, and also in the team you can play with people that is 25 years old, 26 years old. Like
the eligibility rules are a lot more relaxed. You know?
Yeah, the rules are like easier. But like I told you, I think it was like one of the best decisions in my life, you know, to play in NIA, to get the exposure as well, because thanks to that I was able to, you know, play in USL2 with you, be able to make it to Division 1. You know, like you don't need to, you are done with high school, you don't need to go straight to Division 1. You know, like you have enough time, you can go play. The most important thing I would say is to play. Like it's better to be playing for a Division 2 school, JUCO or NIA team if you are playing minutes. If you are giving yourself exposure, you know, for the people to watch you play. And if you do a good year, even good 2 years, I'm more than sure that you will have more options and more offers, you know. So they don't need to go, Division 1. So there is more things to do.
Why do you think that the NAIA, the best teams, are just internationals and not Americans?
That's a good question, though. I think it's because the culture as well. In Spain, at least, it's like since you are born, like I told you, you are 3 years old, you go to the park and you see everybody like just playing football. Like every kid plays football all the time, non-stop. Like you go to the park with your friends from 1 p.m. and you are playing there till 10 or until 9 p.m. Like it's the culture. And here I think in the US there is a lot of sports. You know, like basketball is huge, American football, baseball. So I think the kids here, they play too many sports, and maybe they don't get that focus in just football. Maybe it's because that reason. And same I'm saying with Spain, with Italy, with France, like most of the countries, you know, in Europe.
Yeah, no, definitely. I agree with that. And I think what I was also going to ask you was like, you mentioned before, tactically, you had to learn, or like here, the style of football was just running and fitness, whereas back home it's like tactical. So was the coach at Mississippi American?
Irish.
And then Gavin was English, and then Akron was American?
I think so, yeah.
So in terms of like the American style and the Spanish style, obviously it's very different. Why is it? How is it for someone that is thinking, okay, I play in America and I'm going to go and play in Spain? How is Spanish football different to American football?
I think I would say in Spain we play more in the smart way. You know, like since we are kids, we always train like in a small sizes, like and everything that we do is with the ball. Like we train all the time with the ball. We start doing rondos, small size, like possession of the ball, like 6v6, with 2 touches, always with those rules, like 2 touches. And then after that, also the coaches, they look to imagine Guardiola, Johan Cruyff, or these coaches that they have that style, and they introduce that style to everybody. So, and here in America, everything is like you have, like I told you, like to run a lot. In basketball, you need to be big, strong. Same in American football. Maybe they think that you need to be like that to play football.
So because you transferred from NAIA Kaiser to Division 1 Akron.
Yeah.
And at Akron, you had a lot more American players, right?
Most of the team was American.
Most of the team was American. So, what were the differences between Americans from NAIA to the Americans Division 1?
I think the biggest difference was like the Americans in Division 1, they all came from academies here. They were playing for the academy teams. So since they are kids, they have been playing.
Better coaching, better level.
Better coaching, better level, more professional. And in the NIA, it wasn't that.
Did you have a JV team at Kaiser?
Yeah, we had a JV team.
Okay.
Yeah, we had a JV team as well. And you could tell that they were not being very good training, they
didn't take care of like the small details.
Small details, yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So let's talk about transferring from. So you transferred from NAIA to D1, and people are going to be like, "Oh, NAIA, you can transfer to D1." Like, I didn't know that was possible. Like, how was that process?
Yeah, it was like an interesting process. So, like you said before, we won the national championship with NAIA, and I have been doing very good years, very good summers in USL2 with you. And I had some very nice coaches reaching me out. The only thing, like, I didn't know the process to Division 1, so I needed some help. And a friend of mine told me, okay, I know this agent, talk to him, he has a lot of contacts, and I'm sure he's a good people, and he will help you, And I called him, explained to him the situation. He was like, look, I have 1 year left, and I had this coaches reaching me out, can you help me with this? He was like, yeah, of course, we can start working on it. And he knew he had a lot of contacts in Division 1, so he started reaching coaches, saying, look, there is this guy, he played in USL these years, he won national championship and all.
So the agent did the transfer process for you
and
to D1?
And the agent, did everything.
Okay.
The agent did everything for me.
Really?
Yeah.
What? So why? So you had coaches reaching out to you after Kaiser?
Yeah.
So why did you hire an agent, or why did you use an agent? Because you wanted more, or you wanted better, or you just wanted a better process?
Exactly. So once that this happened, once that I was here for like 5 years already, I knew, after 5 years, I know how everything works now. I met people like you, like all my teammates in USL2 team that told to me about Division 1. I knew the level of the teams, what programs were better for NCAA. So maybe the offers that I got when I was in Kaiser, they were not that good, like I wanted to. So I was like, okay, I think, I can play. What I want right now, what I wish is to play like in a top program in Division 1. So it was when I reached out the agent, and I was like, hey, do you think, I can make it? I can play at that good level? He was like, yeah, I will help you with that.
So you won a national championship at Kaiser. Why did you want to play? I mean, the obvious answer is Division 1 is the best in college soccer. But why? What was motivating you to play Division 1 and not try and play professionally out of Kaiser?
Because I wanted to live the real Division 1 experience. I wanted to feel like a professional for once in my life. I wanted to feel that I don't know how to explain, nervous.
But you won a national championship at Kaiser, but you didn't feel like a pro.
No.
Why?
I didn't feel like a pro because, like I told you before, like the facilities. You know, if when you watch the NAIA National Championship and you watch the Division One, you know they play in a big stadium. You have a lot of fans watching the final, watching through the TV, and with NAIA is, you know, because here in America you say
It's
NAIA,
not respected.
it's not that respected. So I wanted to, you know, have that experience and be respected and be like, okay, just like a challenge for me, you know, to say like, okay, I think I can do it. I think I can play at a good level.
So you turn up to Akron. Well, actually, before that, you're getting offers, Division 1 offers.
Yeah.
Why did you pick Akron?
It was a funny story. I mean, Akron was one assistant coaches, coach there. I think was my second summer in NC Fusion. He was interested in me. Like he was watching me since, you know, like 2 years before all of this happened, and he liked me. So he was all the time like reaching me out, calling me, like wishing, hey, good luck to this game.
While she was still at Kaiser?
Yeah.
Yeah, right. Did your coach at Kaiser know or not?
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
No, I don't think so. But well, maybe I didn't explain the best way. The Kaiser coach, he knew I was about to transfer, so I told him, "Make up, you know, I have 1 year left. I'm gonna transfer. I'm gonna start."
Yeah, to do the process.
Exactly,
good.
exactly. He was like, "Yeah, of course. Like, I respect your decision. You
And
know,
it helps
it's normal.
that program too.
Yeah, and I will help you. You know, like if any coach wants to talk with me, no problem." So it was when I started the process with the agent, and Jer and the coaches from Akron start like talking with me, and they will watch my games in the summer league, and I chose Akron because I went there for a visit. I think I went there for 2 days.
Mm-hmm.
I met all the players. They showed me all the facilities. The soccer field, I remember when I first stepped into the stadium, I was like, wow, what is this? Like, not even second division teams in Spain, they have these facilities, you know, like the grass. It was unreal. So I went there, I met the guys, I met all the coaches. They were the nicest people I ever met. Like, the environment in the locker room, the environment between the coaches, it was the thing that made me say like, okay, I think this is the right place for you. And all the people that I asked about the Akron program, everyone was like, yeah, you have to do it. If you have the opportunity, you feel like a lucky guy, because it's hard to get this, and I think it's the right place for you.
Why do you think that they recruited you and not someone else?
I will say maybe it was because of my style of play. I'm a guy that loves to get involved with the ball, you know, and Akron is a team that start playing is all the time with the ball. Like we start playing from the goalie, center backs inside the box, start playing from the back. And they have like a very Spanish style of play. You know, I remember I stepped into the locker room, the stadium locker room, and they had like Guardiola sentences, Xavi Hernandez, Johan Cruyff.
Really?
Like, yeah, that they love that the style of.
So you were the good stuff for them, okay? And then, like, your first, because you went there in the spring, right?
I went there on the spring.
So how was the spring?
It was tough. The spring was tough because in NAIA we had a very good team, but once I transferred there, I arrived the first 2 weeks in training. Like I wasn't used to the speed of play. Like everything was so quick. Like I remember I will control the ball. I had 2 guys like flying over me. Like, okay, where is the ball? I was like, wow, this is okay. This is serious now, you know. And also I wasn't fit enough to play at that level. So the spring was a little bit tough. I remember I was calling my parents saying, well, maybe this is not for me, you know, like here everything is so professional. Every player is so good, like the bench players, the second team, everybody like could play at a good Division 1 program, you know. So it was tough, but I have learned too many things out of that. Yeah.
So you've gone from winning a national championship or being in the national final in the NAIA to going to Division 1 to a top team and the transition. How did you overcome those challenges? Like you're saying about you didn't feel up to speed, you didn't feel at the level, probably your confidence was low, you might have been out of shape, you might have just been not thinking you were good enough. Like to go from that to then starting, like how did you mentally and physically overcome that challenge to be ready to be at the level?
Yeah, so it's a long story, but basically I was thinking like, okay, Nano, look, if you are in right now in like a amazing situation, like everything you ever wanted to is this. So you just arrive into like a top team, top Division 1 program, you are on the squad, and you are good with the team, with the coaches. So I stopped thinking about, okay, I cannot play here. So you have to work your ass off. You have to do whatever it takes to be able to make the team or to start. So I remember that summer I went to NC Fusion again and started to take it very seriously. You know, I will wake up in the morning, go for a run. I will go to the gym maybe 5 days a week, getting in shape, getting very fit, to be able, you know, to arrive there in precision and look like a different player. Not like different player,
just a monster,
but just a monster, like physically, like fit, non-stop running, winning every ball, you know, like try to improve that side of my game.
But did you have anyone telling you that, or you had to do it yourself?
No, I had to do it myself. Yeah.
And how was that? How did you find the motivation?
Like I told you, because it was like I was in the spot I always ever wanted. You know, like, okay, you have this here. Are you gonna take it or you're gonna leave it? And it was a conversation that I had with myself, you know. And I was like, okay, you have to put some balls here and do it.
And did the coaches put any pressure on you? Like, did the coaches have individual meeting with you? Like, Nano, you're not fit enough, or Nano, you're not at the level?
Yeah.
Why? They told you that?
Yeah. I had a meeting with them, and they were always very honest with me. They were like, hey, Nano, I know that you are like, you have the talent, you have the quality to play in the team, but maybe right now your confidence is not the right one. Maybe you are not fit enough. And you have to change that to be able to play. And they were very like clear with me. And I till always gonna be grateful to those guys. I love them, and they taught me a lot of things about life as well. They were like, look, Nano, we have right now, this is our starter team. We don't count with you to be a starter, but if you come back and you show us that you are better than the other players in your place, you are gonna play. Like, I don't care about names. I don't care about if she is senior, if he's freshman, if whatever. The player that is at his best is gonna play, and also it helped me, you know, to say like, okay, so I'm gonna have a chance. If I do it well, at least I'm going to have a chance to play.
See, this is interesting because I had the exact same experience at UNH. Yeah. Because I don't know if you know that story, but I failed the fitness test. I was like, I went in that. So during COVID, we didn't play in the fall. So I went like a semester early before the season. And that semester, like, we were partying and we were like training, but not that intense because it was like the spring season basically. And I remember I failed the fitness test. And like I was a right back, so like centre mid and right back run the most.
You
have
know? To run.
And
most.
like we played a diamond, so the fullback should be always
all the time up.
I remember the beep test. Like I don't think I was arrogant. I just thought like, oh, I'm gonna pass it. Like I have to. Like we've been training the whole, And I remember I got like 20 out of 24. I was the first person to drop. And I remember like over the Christmas, my coaches, they called me. And like all my 3 roommates had calls, and they were like my 3 roommates were probably the best ones. Like Paul, you know Paul?
Yeah, Paul, yeah.
Animal. Adam, English guy, animal. Like, those were the 2 guys I was living with at the time, and they like killed it. They're probably 2 of the best players on our team. And then I was there, and they called, the head coach called both of them and was like, yeah, guys, good. Well done. Have a good Christmas. Enjoy your time. We'll see you in the spring. And for me, it was the head coach, the assistant coach, and the other assistant coach, and they all called me like on a group call. And I remember they were like, yeah, Sam, you failing the beep test is like alarming. Like, we've give you a scholarship, and we thought you were going to be our guy, and like, you need to come in fit. And then over the Christmas, but this is like, I could have took that, be upset, and be like, okay, sorry guys, like this isn't for me. But I was like, all right, fuck it, all right, like thank you for that. And I remember I didn't drink that whole Christmas. I was running every day. I ran the beep test 3 times every week, and I remember like going to running the beep test in the morning and going to the gym in the afternoon, and like coming back, and the same as you, like I was the first. I think I was the first one in the beep test when we did it in the fall, and I started every game, played every game, every minute of every game. But it's like, how do you take that feedback? Like, do you get upset? Do you complain? Do you blame others? Do you take responsibility? Like,
I would say like maybe if I got that feedback when I was 18 years old,
yeah,
it's different. You know, I will take it like maybe these coaches, they don't like me. I will be like mad with them,
blaming them,
like it's their fault, they don't play me, blah blah blah, but I'm the best one, whatever. But now when I was 23 or 24, like I went through a lot of things, a lot of experiences. I have lived all kind of things like that, so I was more mature as well. So I was like, okay, like it's about myself, so I need to take it seriously. I need to take it. If they say that, it's because they want the best for me. And if I'm good, the team is gonna go good.
So this is interesting too, because a lot of the times, like I give advice to players, and I tell them like, if you want to play Division 1, good. I like that. That's your goal. But it doesn't mean that you have to go Division 1 as a freshman. You could go JUCO, D3, exactly. D2, and transfer. But what you're saying and what I'm saying too, I played Division 2 and transferred, and I needed to get fitter. You went NAIA and transferred. You needed to get fitter. Do you think that fitness is a big difference between Division 2, Division 3, NAIA, and Division 1? Do you think fitness is like a big thing for Division 1 players?
I would say it's totally the biggest thing. Like, it's the biggest change I ever had, like playing wise. Like, every player on the squad was like a machine. Yeah. You know, in NAIA, like you say, or maybe in your Division 2 school, you can go out in the weekends, you know, and you can still perform.
Because you're talented, you get away with it. But Division 1, you have to be on it.
But in Division 1, you have to, okay, this is your season, you have to get focused, you have to eat well, you have to sleep, you have to stretch, you have to take care of your body, you have to live just for football and for the team and to play and be focused. Like, if not, the other players will like pass you. Like,
what advice would you give to a player that's committed to Division 1 school, that's going in, doesn't know what to expect? What would you tell them to get ready to play and be a starter on a Division 1 roster?
I will tell him, yes, like, to do all the right things, like the little things, like coming to practice, be focused, try to give everything you have in every practice. Like, you have to give everything in practice. Then after practice, you have to recover well, stretch. Even if you are not playing or you are getting that exposure, you have to keep doing those little details, because if you are in the team, it's for a reason, and your moment will come. If you see that you are not playing, that you are not getting minutes, and you say, okay, fuck it, like, I'm tired of, be working for nothing, you are never gonna get the opportunity to be a starter. But if you keep doing all the right things, your moment will come, I'm sure, and you will be ready, you will be fit, you will be mentally prepared and you will have all the things, you know, to be able to perform in the field.
I think it's the biggest thing is like control what you can control.
Exactly.
Like if you've been recruited to a top program, you're being recruited because you're a good footballer, you're a good soccer player, you're humble, the coach likes you. But he's going to like you even more when you turn up early, when you're in the AT room, when you're picking up the cones, when you're stretching, when you're, I don't know, giving him good feedback, what you learned about the session, when you're doing video analysis.
Totally
You can control that. You can't control if in the field you have a good game or a bad game, if the referee makes a bad decision, if someone gets injured, if someone passes you the ball at your knees. But you can control the, you know.
Exactly. Like we said before, one of the biggest things that I will say, of course, like the biggest difference in Division 1 is the fitness, but also the mentality of the players. I think those two things, they are the most important things. Like to have the right mentality, it takes you to another level.
And what do you mean by the right mentality? Like I could say I've got a good mentality. I think I'm the best soccer player in the world. But what do you mean by the right mentality?
The right mentality is like when you don't have, like imagine you are not having all the minutes that you want to go to, like I said before, go to practice, work your ass off, keep working. After practice, go stretch, take the time for your body, go eat well, then go to sleep your, I don't know, 8-9 hours for recover, and just even if the coaches don't show you that, you know, okay, we are looking at you, we are interested in you, just keep showing up every day, just go to the gym, even if no one knows that you are going, go there every day, and don't keep thinking, you never think that you cannot make it, you know. Always have in mind, okay, you know, I'm gonna have my chance, I'm gonna have my opportunity, and I'm gonna kill it, and keep that mentality always.
Good. I like that a lot. And then for you, is there anything that you would, because I know, like for me, I wish that I would have taken my health a lot more seriously earlier, like eating the right foods, going to the gym more, taking care of recovery, ice baths. I know, like, if I had one regret or one thing that I wish I would have done earlier, it would have been that, taking care of my body. What about you?
I would say exactly the same. Yeah, like I'm a guy that loves, you know, to go out, eat a lot, go. I was living in West Palm, you know, close to Miami.
A lot of distractions.
Exactly, a lot of distractions, you know. I will go out every weekend. I wasn't taking football, soccer, like.
But you don't really need to at those levels.
Because at those levels,
NAIA in Division 2, you don't really need to, because you're thinking about pro maybe, but like you're more thinking about enjoying the college experience and having a good time with your friends.
Exactly. So in that moment when I was in NAIA, I never thought, okay, I'm gonna be pro. So I was like, okay, I'm here playing at a decent level. I'm living in a really nice place, and I'm studying, you know. So I'm here for the experience. I'm gonna have my degree, and I'm good with that.
It's interesting because I think that a lot of people ask me a lot of the time too, like, what's the difference between Division 1, 2, 3? And I think from an international perspective, NAIA and Division 2 is a bit more like of a lifestyle.
Exactly. Yeah.
Like the international soccer players you see NAIA and D2 is like, they're good players, they're getting their degree paid for, they're living in America, they're kind of on holiday, they're going out a lot, having fun, having memories. But like when you play Division 1, there's really like a switch. Because you're a bit closer to the draft. Yeah. Because your environment, your teammates around you, you know, like everyone's like, nah, Sam, like, why are you going out like 2 nights before a game? Like, switch on. Like, we've got a big game. Like, guys are like looking at you like, why is these guys going out all the time and partying? Like, we're trying to win a championship. But at Division 2, it's more like, I don't feel you have that mentality. You know?
That's something that I can tell you. Like when I first arrived in Akron, I remember my roommates. You know, I'm a guy that today I will cook a big pan of pasta or carbonara, whatever. Like And once I arrived there, like it was like, okay, this quantity of chicken, I will put some
Really?
rice
It
here.
was like that?
I swear, like they will take care of their body like so much.
Really?
And yeah, so I will start cooking. So I will look at my plate. I was like, nah, I'm feeling bad now. If this guy,
Well, but that's good.
That's unbelievable. Of course, yeah. And they were players that they were like big part of the team. You know, Mitch was the goalie. You know, like he's like one of the best goalies I ever played with. And yeah, he will take care of his body a lot. Kuz as well, number 10, very talented player. So they will make their oat milk in the mornings, you know, that kind of things. So I was like, okay, I have to do the same, you know, like if they are doing it, it's for a reason.
Yeah.
So I will start eating healthy. I will start eating good, prepare my meals, and maybe in a short term you can tell the difference, but in a long term you will like, holy shit.
Over
like,
a whole season.
Wow, yeah. Now I understand.
Yeah.
And that is a big difference. Yeah, in Kaiser you don't do that.
If Paul Meyer's listening to this, that was the problem of us living together. That guy was not eating the right foods and drinking the right drinks, I tell you that.
I mean, there is some cases, some players that they can do whatever they want, that they're gonna still
Nah, but at the top level,
but at the top level,
yeah.
and maybe if you keep that lifestyle, you cannot play more than 3 years or 4 years at a good level, you know?
Why? How many players from your Akron team went professional?
The year of my draft, I think was Jason Shukaluk. I think 4 players got drafted.
Why? From your experience, what do you think? Because you played NAIA with some guys that have made it professional. The guy from Tormenta Burton. There's probably some other players too.
Yeah, in NAIA.
What do you think is the difference between a good college player and a pro player? The ones that make it to the pros.
I think the biggest difference is that the ones that make it to the pros, they don't commit mistakes. They don't have mistakes. Or for example, my normal guy in IA, maybe he misses, I don't know, like 10 passes in a game. The one that made it pro, maybe he missed 1. At least 2, like maximum. So they are, or for example, Jason, you know, my friend.
Top player, he played for the Bantams. I remember playing against him.
Yeah, he scored against us, like a banger from outside the box.
He's good,
He's a good player, though. He was like my best friend there at Akron. And that guy, he will have like half of a chance, he will do 2 goals. You know, like there is other strikers that maybe they are good, they score a lot of goals, but in one game they have 3 chances to score and they miss them. You know, this guy, he will have 1 and he will make 2 goals. So for that reason, now he's, you know, making.
And then when you went to Akron, you wanted to be a pro, right? Like you went there with the ambition to play Division 1, play for a national championship, win, and then go professional. Like that was your goal? Or?
Yeah. So I never thought that I could make it to pro when I was my NIA, you know. But once I was like, okay, for example, in the Summer League in USL2, that we were playing all the time against.
I feel like we have a similar experience because I was playing like not very good level, and then you play with these guys. I remember I was playing with guys from Wake Forest, Virginia Tech,
Clemson,
Wake Forest, and I'm like, I can.
I'm playing a starter. I'm playing a lot of minutes, and I'm playing against them. They are not better than me.
So your mentality shifted when you went to Akron. You were like, okay, I can be a pro.
Yeah. So my mentality changed. I would say even during this, thanks to NC Fusion, when I was in the summer sharing team with you, that we were surrounded with. I remember Chris and me. We were the only players from NIA in that team, and all the guys were like at Wake Forest, Clemson, UNH, were like top teams in Division 1. So I remember when we first arrived there.
It's scary. It's scary.
Yeah, we were one day.
You were late.
We were late.
probably Cristobal's car broke down.
Hi, Chris. So yeah, we were late for that practice, and we were watching the training session from outside, and we were looking at each other like, wow, man, like the ball flies here. Like the speed of play is crazy.
And also, it's kind of like intimidating too. I remember the first practice when I came and I saw like guys walking with the Wake Forest backpack. I remember Joycey with the Virginia Tech. I mean, the first time I met Joycey wasn't Virginia Tech, but like you have guys with the Wake Forest backpack. You have guys with Virginia Tech with ACC, and I was at D2 Catawba.
Yeah.
And I was like, but then you realize they're just footballers,
Yeah,
man.
they're
just like us, you know. They want to play in the summer to play high level. They want to compete. Like, there's not really that big of a difference, really. It's just I would say it's the athleticism and the mindset.
Yeah, like the mentality and the fitness, like we said before.
But so how was your first summer at NC Fusion? Why did you want to play in the USL2?
So I didn't even knew what was USL2 or NPSL or the summer leagues, but I was doing good seasons at Kaiser, and my coach told me, "Hey, Nano, I know a coach that he is coaching a USL2 team. They are doing well."
Oh, because Chris knows Gavin, right?
Yeah, Chris knows Gavin.
Okay.
So Gavin texts Chris saying like, "Okay, I have these players here." I mean, I don't know exactly what he said, but I imagine like, "Oh, take a look of these guys. Maybe they can be good for your team." And Gavin told me, "Hey, Nano, I found you a good team in USL2 team. Would you be interested to stay here in the summer, live the experience, play there? There is like you're gonna play with a lot of players from Division 1, so you can see yourself with other players as well." I was like, "Oh yeah, it sounds good. Sounds like interesting." So I was with Cristobal, that was my best friend at Kaiser. So we all both went together, and it was even better for me. So we took the chance. We went there, and at the beginning, like I told you, we were like, "Oh wow, it's gonna be hard to play here because every player is top."
And then when we were playing USL2, how did you find that first season? The experience, the soccer, the lifestyle, how was everything?
Oh wow, I think it was one of the best experiences in my life. I think I never had that great environment in the team. Out of all of the teams that I had, we were like a family. We would be joking every practice. We would be laughing.
I feel like there wasn't one guy in the team that I didn't have some sort of joke with,
Exactly.
Like everyone was
involved. Everyone was like the togetherness of the team. And I think that was what make us make it to the national final. Like the togetherness. Like we will die for each other. And that's something that I always say when I went to Akron, I try, to show them that, like, okay, here, we need to fight for each other. We need to kill, because a long term it will make the difference. And I think that I remember that first year in NC Fusion, we didn't have like all the top players from Division 1.
If you look on paper, the team wasn't really
exactly. We were not favorites. We were all the time the underdogs all the time. We will go play. I remember Tormenta, they have like crazy bowlers, Western Mass, like the
Bantams.
They have Jason. Like teams with they have the best players from Akron. They have the best players from Clemson. These guys, they have the best players from Wake. Like, and we were like, okay, let's see what happens. Like we were 2 guys from NAIA. You were
guys like Division 2 level.
I remember Joao didn't play in college. Enrique was coming from D2 as well. Then he transferred to NC State. Like a lot of people that we were not even playing Division 1.
Why do you think that we were so successful? Just because of the culture?
The culture, the coach, the coaches in this case, and the togetherness. Yeah, for sure. Like, it was just the environment. I will go to practice like with a smile,
That's the first time, that was my first time in the US that I really felt like I was like a professional, and that environment was like so I don't know, because I feel like with me and you, I had experience at Division 1 level, so like my New Hampshire team was probably on paper better than that Fusion team, you know? Like on paper we would have probably beat that Fusion team. But if you take like that group of guys, the togetherness, like we were always like joking around, like having fun, but we were taking it serious too, and we all knew with each other, like I want to win, like I'm here to win. And I just think like some of those guys, like Victor's my best friend now, like Joyce I talk to all the time, Birchall, like you, Chris, like Zhao, all these guys in the team, it's like, I don't know. I don't. How did we get that like close though? Do you know? Just from nights out. Just from nights out.
I have these thoughts all the time. Like
I think Chris and Liam did a really good job. I think Chris and Liam did a good job.
They were like
they were really good at building the culture.
80% of the team or 80% of the success was them as well. You know, how they coach us, the culture,
the recruiting. Because if you think about it, at the start of the season, I feel like we had a lot of players, and then players left, and that because really from like the playoffs onwards, I think that's when we really got together. Because the regular season, like we would go out and we were having fun, but maybe we weren't so close. But then when like, who was the first playoff game? Was it Bantams? Was it that weekend when we?
Yeah, was that weekend? Like, but we faced Tampa, I think.
Yeah, Tampa. So like, I feel like from that onwards is when we really got close together.
Exactly.
Like, remember the rain? We didn't even know when we were gonna play because of the rain.
Yeah.
And then Tormenta, we went there. That was the best weekend of. I don't even know my life, bro. But that weekend was so fun. It was. Driving with the boys. Were you in our bus with the quizzes?
Yeah.
Bro, the quiz. I miss doing those quizzes so much, bro. They were so much fun.
You were a legend with the
quiz.
quiz.
I love the quiz, bro. Bro, the quiz was so fun. Like with the boys on the bus, like just having a good time. Like, bro, those 4 hours journey felt like 30 minutes, you know. And like the wind, and we went down a lot too. Like Tormenta, I think we were 1-0 down. Western Mass, we were 1-0 down. Bantams.
All of the games. Even to the final, we were down. We started losing.
Yeah,
it was crazy. But we knew, I swear, or at least me, I had the feeling. Okay,
doesn't matter. We're gonna score. Henrique's gonna fucking score.
Cristobal is with the header. You know, like
Cristobal
like 3 headers.
Either header or red card. which one?
So it was that feeling to say like, okay,
never give up.
We are gonna exactly. We are going to start the game. Okay, we can be losing 2-0. I know we are going to score 3.
How has that made you think about football, though, like, afterward? Because before that, I didn't really appreciate, like, the impact of culture on the team. Because before that, I was like, okay, I was playing at Guitarba. The other teams are beating us because they have good players. They have better players than us. And I always thought, like, football, you win because you have a good coach and a good players, a good team. But I didn't think it was, like, that much about the culture. But then after, like, now I'm looking back at my playing career and I'm thinking about the teams that I've been a part of and that have won. I'm really realizing now how important culture is. How important do you think culture is?
It's, in my opinion, one of the most important things inside of a team or a club. You know, like I would say also the chemistry between the players, the coaches, the feelings. You know, like even how many years happen after this? Like 5 years, 4 years that that season happened or that summer happened, and we keep having the contacts, we keep calling each other. I'm here with you in Miami. We have been talking. You came to visit me the West Palm 2 years ago. I keep talking with most of the guys in that squad. So that is what make us, I think, will help. That was what helped us, you know, to achieve everything that we achieve. And it's one of the things that I'm gonna remember for like the rest of my life. I'm sure I'm gonna have 60 years old. I'm gonna tell. Yeah,
maybe the documentary will be ready in 60 years. Jerry, come on, man.
Jerry. We've been waiting 5 years, huh?
Well, I want to see the documentary.
Oh wow! I know. Tino came to. Tino now is living in Spain. He came to.
Did you watch it?
Yeah. No, he watched it. He told me that.
I've seen it. You've
seen it? I've seen it.
It's quite long. But
they told me everything about Joao, so
yeah, it's the Joao story.
It's Joao story.
Joao. No, bro, but you know what would be amazing if we organised like a weekend with all of the boys, like in Charlotte. Oh, that would be dangerous.
Dangerous, yeah. I was gonna tell you, maybe more than one end up in jail, bro.
No, we need to do a documentary again. But
I think feel very lucky, you know, to kind of have those experiences from football. Like, it's one of the most important things in my life. What football gave me, you know, friendships, experiences, those moments that is very hard to get that adrenaline, you know, with other things. Those winning those games in the last minute, the celebration in the locker room or in the hotel, all of us singing, you know, like those moments that are like, wow, man, like you cannot buy those kind of things, man.
And then lastly, I know we're a little bit over time. Just lastly, Nano, if you had to give advice to any player that's wanting to play college, that's thinking about playing college, that is maybe committed to college during college, and they're not really sure what's going to happen after college, they're not really sure what's going to happen during college, what advice would you give to yourself when you were 18 coming to the US?
I would say just don't get stressed about what is going to happen, you know, like just live the present. Like, okay, now you are doing this, try to give your best, try to enjoy the process. I think it's one of the most important things that I have learned. Is like everything that you are doing now, enjoy. Try to give your best. Try to learn. Try to meet new people. Try to improve. Try to just be the best version of yourself. Like, and if you do that, I'm sure like good things will come. But you cannot be, okay, this is my freshman year. You cannot be thinking about what you are going to do in senior or junior, or, okay, I'm going to do this in the future. I want to, you know, just stay in your path. Just work for that, you know, like stay focused, step by step. I will say, like, if something goes wrong, like, just don't stress. Don't think that, oh, the war is going to end. Just, there is always a solution for everything. Good. I would say.
Perfect advice. Well, guys, if you're this far along in the podcast, DM Nano and tell him what you learned about the podcast and what you enjoyed.
Sure.
But no, man, thanks for coming. That was a good episode.
Thank you so much for having me, Sammy.
Vamos. Good, Abraham.